You looking to get shredded for summer? Check this video out. I'm gonna go over some of the tips that I used to get my beach body for 2023. So if you've been following along, I've started a playlist of my progress going from transitioning from bulking into my cut to lose weight, to lose body fat, to get beach ready. And I'm finally there, guys. So I'm gonna be going over some of the stuff today, some tips that you can implement for you to get that body that you've always wanted. Main thing I go over in all of these videos is you need to be in a calorie deficit, meaning you're consuming less calories than you're burning each day. That's the number one thing. You're not going to lose any body fat unless you are consistently in a calorie deficit. So figure out your baseline calories. There's plenty of tools and calculators online to give you a rough estimate of what you should be eating, and go lower than that by a few hundred calories and gradually increase that deficit. Workout split. So I've continued this split throughout most of my cut. It sounds like a lot of volume, but I basically do legs every day. I do a push-pull split. So on push day, I start with legs always because they're the hardest for me. So I'll push day, I'll do quads, calves, maybe some glutes, and then I'll move on to upper body, which for push day would be chest, triceps, front delts. Pull day, again starting with legs, I'll do hamstrings, glutes, calves, and then I'll move on to back, biceps, rear delts, and side delts I'll do on both push and pull depending on how they're feeling. But I do one heavy day of each of these splits a week and one lighter day of each of these splits a week. So I'm hitting every body part twice a week. So the reason I do this is because I like to keep my strength up, especially when I'm cutting. So I'll do a heavy day where my reps are low, anywhere between 5 and 10 reps on exercises. Really try to keep my strength up. And then the lighter day is more a hypertrophy day, really just trying to get blood flow. I'll go anywhere from 15 to 30 reps on muscle groups, depending on what I'm hitting. So that's been my split. It works really well with me. I normally do like push, pull, off, push, pull, off. And then some days I'll throw a full ab day in there if I want to go, let's say 5 days a week. So that's been, I think, a big factor on why I've gotten so lean is I'm hitting a lot of frequency on these muscle groups. And for us natties, frequency is your friend. You want to try to hit everything as often as you can. The typical bodybuilder split, I think, has its place, but for leaning out and being natural especially, I think the more frequency and volume you can do, the better. So I'm in the gym a long time. I'm not normally in the gym a long time, but I've been doing, up to 20 minutes of cardio after my lifts. And so, it's taking me, I'll be in the gym anywhere from an hour and a half to 2 hours to even 2.5 hours if I'm, bullshitting with my friends and stuff. So it's a lot of volume, guys. Now, you don't have to do it that way. You can be in and out of the gym in an hour and have a successful workout. I've been at this a long time. I've been lifting 10 plus years, so I know what my body can handle, and it's just different for everybody. But overall, I think frequency is your friend for us natties, especially when you're trying to cut down and lose body fat. My calories are probably around 2,500, maybe even a little less now, 2,200 to 2,500, so not very high. I'm hungry all the time, so a tip that I use to kind of fight hunger is I eat a lot of vegetables, especially the green leafy vegetables. I'm eating massive salads every day, full of those. To help with convenience, I'll buy like the pre-made bags of like, they mix like arugula and red lettuce and green lettuce and stuff. You can find them at any grocery store. It doesn't come with dressing. You need to be careful with the salad dressing that you use because there's a lot of calories in salad dressing. So I'll either use balsamic vinegar or I'll just eat that like a rabbit, just straight, you know, maybe with my protein on the side. Some of the cons that involve leaning out and cutting. And there's not many of them, but there are some that I want to go over. The number one thing is just your energy levels are not where they are normally at. You're gonna feel tired, you're gonna feel run down, and that's simply just because you're in a calorie deficit. It comes with the territory, guys. If you're in a calorie deficit, especially for an extended period of time, you're gonna feel tired. Your energy levels are gonna be low. I combat that generally before I do like a heavy lift or something. I'll take like a pre-workout just to kind of get my energy going. And when I'm bulking and in a calorie surplus, I very rarely need a pre-workout because my energy levels are where they should be at. They're high because I'm eating so many calories. Carbs especially have gone down. I'm still eating my carbs mainly in the forms of rice, sweet potatoes, and fruit. Any other carbs outside of that, I spill over. When you get super lean, like I don't claim to be super shredded, but I'm lean enough that I know I can see it when I spill over. So I can have that dry, grainy look, and if I go and eat like some crackers or some chips, boom, I spill over. That's just how my body works. And so sweet potatoes, rice, fruit work the best for me when I'm cutting. Another negative that comes with the territory of losing weight is your sex drive will go down. I still have a sex drive, but it's not, let's just say it's not as high as it is when I'm bulking. When I'm bulking, I can just go forever and I'm always wanting sex. And when I'm in a calorie deficit and I'm cutting, your sex drive decreases with that. For us natties, you know, when you're in a calorie deficit, your hormone levels are going to drop. Your testosterone levels are not going to be as high when you're in a cutting phase as they are when you're in a bulking phase. It just comes with it. That's part of it. And it doesn't mean that you still can't be intimate, have sex. I'm just saying your drive for that will not be as high. And maybe that's a good thing for some of you people. So that's it for the negatives. Like I said, those two main things, sex drive and energy levels. Everything else, I really like pushing myself mentally through the hunger, looking at the progress that I make, because you can really see the gains you make, quote unquote, when you're losing weight. You know, every little bit you lose, you'll see that in the mirror. And yeah, if you just be patient and stick with it, being in a calorie deficit, continuing your workouts, continuing to lift so your body tries to hold on to as much muscle as you can, that's going to be the key. You're going to lose a little strength, you're going to lose a little size and muscle, but you'll actually look bigger if you cut successfully than when you do when you're bulking. And that's because you can see all the definition in your muscles, you can see the striations. And so I get more steroid questions when I'm cut and lean, ironically, than when I'm bulking. And it's really funny to me because when I'm bulking, I'm pushing up way more numbers and my weight is way higher, right? I'll be up to 180, 185 when I'm bulking. And right now I'm like 160 and people come up to me thinking I'm 200 pounds. It's just, when you have a pump and you're cut, you just look crazy. You'll look bigger. And again, that's because you're stripping the fat off of your body. So anyone can do this, guys. Anyone can get lean. The number one thing I would suggest is just being in a calorie deficit and go from there. You don't need to kill yourself with cardio. You don't need to kill yourself in the gym unless you enjoy doing that like I do. You enjoy spending 2 hours in the gym, then that's great. But you don't have to do it that way. Everyone can get shredded. Everyone can get lean. Everyone can lose body fat. You just have to figure out your body, your calorie maintenance, and how much you're expending each day. And so I'm at the point now I've bulked and cut so much that I can do what's called intuitive eating, where I know without tracking calories if I'm in a calorie deficit or in a surplus. And so I don't need to sit there and plug everything into an app, but that's a great tool to use if you're just starting out. I suggest everyone doing that just to kind of see how many calories are in what. But yeah, like I said, I haven't tracked calories this entire cut. I'll post some photos of like me when I started cutting, and then like halfway through, and then I'll show you some photos of me now, and you guys will see the results for yourselves. But I'm super proud of myself. Like I said, anybody can do this. Water intake and supplements that I'm taking during this cut. So as I mentioned before in this video, some of the supplements I'm taking, it's really just pre-workout. I'll occasionally sip on some amino acids, some BCAAs. Again, I think those are worthless in a bulk because you're already getting all your amino acids because you're in a calorie surplus. You'll be getting those from whole foods, which is the best way to get them anyway. But because my calories are so low and I'm in a calorie deficit, I think if you are going to supplement with amino acids, it's during the cut. That's the time to do it, especially deep in a cut. So I'll sip on some of those as I'm lifting. It's just kind of a nice sweet drink to sip on too, since I'm not really drinking soda or juice or any of the like sweet flavored fluids when I'm cutting. So it's kind of nice for my mental state of being as well to sip on something tasty. So some amino acids, some pre-workout. I do have whey protein. I don't consume it every day, but if I'm not able to get my tuna and my chicken and my meats in, then I will supplement with a protein powder. I think protein powder comes second. You don't want to like be getting all your protein from protein powders, but it can help for people who don't eat much protein. So those are the three main things, nothing crazy. My water intake is super high when I'm cutting. I'm drinking like 1 to 2 gallons a day. And again, that just helps me feel full. It helps with my muscles, and it'll help with my recovery as well, since my calories are not filling that void. And I do a cheat day, like normally once a week, maybe once every other week if I am feeling super motivated. But generally once a week I'll have a cheat day where I'm eating higher carbs, maybe like pizza or something that I wouldn't normally be eating during this cut. And again, that's more just for my mental health. There's some talk that maybe that can help boost your metabolism, and I could see that, you know, because you're in a calorie deficit for so long. Letting your body know you're not starving by having a cheat day, I think makes sense. So I think that can help, but you definitely don't need to do cheat days if you're that disciplined. I just am not. So one of those a week definitely helps with my sanity. It allows me to like go out with friends and, you know, eat out to dinner and stuff, because as you guys know, it's really hard to eat lean foods when you go out. Not impossible, you can still do it. It's just not going to be as fun. So going forward, I'm going to kind of maintain where I'm at, maybe be in a slight deficit, just to continue getting a little leaner throughout the summer. But I've pretty much reached my goal of where I wanted to be. So yeah, feel free to message me, write me comments down here. I'm happy to get back with all of you on any questions you may have. Yeah, it's a labor of love, guys. We can all do this. Let's get shredded for summer. Let's do this. If this year's too late, then we'll just plan on next year. You know, I'll be doing these, I'll be making these videos. I'll be making this playlist again for 2024, showing you the gains that I've made. Follow along with me.